listening to the Multifamily Podcast, brought to you by Ron Ruiz and Martin Canchola, co-founders of ApartmentSEO, a premier Google agency, where we discuss current multifamily and real estate trends, apartment marketing strategies, and speak with some of the most influential thought leaders shaping the multifamily industry today.
Welcome to the Multifamily Podcast with Ron and Martin. Today, we are thrilled to have Marcie Williams, CEO of RKW Residential, where she oversees all aspects of property management operations, new business development, and strategy. We were so looking forward to this episode, and we hope you are too. Welcome to the Multifamily Podcast, Marcie.
Thank you for having me.
Woohoo. Thank you so much, Marcie. We appreciate your time and can't wait to dive in and let the audience hear your journey. It's an amazing one at that.
Yeah, so excellent. I wanted to kick off this podcast with you sharing your story on how you entered the multifamily industry and went from a leasing consultant to a powerhouse CEO for RKW Residential. How did you do that?
I'm happy to share, but I will tell you it was not easy. And it took a long time. I started out leasing apartments, and it's not really a glamorous story, but somebody suggested it to me. So after I graduated from college, I was doing something to make my parents real proud, just bartending after they put me through college. And there was a regular who came to the bar that was in real estate. And he said, you'd be really good at it. And so he gave me a list of property management companies. I applied and got a job as a leasing consultant in Charlotte in North Carolina. That's where I am still today. And then I've worked with some fantastic companies throughout my career, been in a lot of different positions. And then really in 2015 is when I joined RKW to start and grow the platform as the president. And then today I'm the CEO.
Man, so how many years all in from leasing consultant to CEO?
I know that was like 32 years in 30 seconds. So yeah. I hope that gave you a good understanding.
I mean, a lot of highs, lows, and growth, right?
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Wow, what an inspiring journey, honestly. Thank you for sharing it. And again, we could probably have a whole podcast about the 30-some years and the evolution of the industry, which we're going to get into a little bit of that.
Sure.
We actually obviously love keeping a pulse on the multifamily industry. It's who we are. It's where we were born and raised as well. Can you share some insights into current trends you see shaping the multifamily and apartment sector, especially considering recent market changes, obviously, and sentiment? 32 years, you've seen it all probably, right? But I'm sure we can all agree this is a really unique market right now.
It is very unique and very challenging. I actually just had a town hall with our entire company just about 6 weeks ago. And I wanted to share that what's occurring today is really a cycle. There are ups and downs, and a lot of people that are working at our organization today haven't seen all that, haven't been through the financial crisis, really, thinking about 2 years ago when the rents were, going up 25 and 40%. And then, now they're stagnant at best. And how do we react? The trends that I really am focusing on right now is refining and refocusing our operations platform. I mean, I could say the trends are AI and consolidation. I mean, there's a million things that are happening in our industry, but right now, what's important to our team members and to our clients is that we cross every T, we dot every I, and we ensure we're bringing the biggest bottom line to our clients as possible. Because there's everything that is, as expenses are going up, for anything from payroll to landscaping, taxes, interest rates, we've got to make sure. I think the trend right now is back to the basics, and we define that as refining and refocusing our business.
I couldn't say any better.
Yeah, so shifting to multifamily operators, like you were talking about, what are some other significant challenges that they're facing, and how are they navigating some of these challenges?
Yeah, fraud right now, is a big challenge. It used to be just in the big cities, but it's really spread everywhere. And when that happens, everybody loses money, everybody loses time, and we've got to be able to have new processes and systems that are expensive, for our clients to help prevent that. It's great when we can have, sometimes when I come in and I see all these we got, we came in and there were 5 leases overnight. It's like, no, that's not good. If people are applying at 2:00 in the morning, it's probably fraud. And so we've got to be really thoughtful on stopping them in the past. So I think fraud is a big challenge we're having right now. Of course, high interest rates for our clients, where they were having, X percent, for their interest rates, and now is basically doubled. Even though our job as a property management company is to increase NOI, I always share with our teams, hey, our owners have a lot more expenses below NOI. And one of those is their mortgage. And so when their mortgage doubles, that means we have to work triple hard to ensure, again, we're making sure we're increasing income where we can, reducing expenses where we can, so we can help our owners be successful as well.
Yeah, no, it's totally interesting to hear about those challenges operators are facing and how they're overcoming them. And again, we were just at AIM and I was in some executive level meetings, dinners, all the above, and nobody is spared from this market, right? And
Right.
I mean, even if you were locked into a good interest rate, it wasn't for long. Oftentimes, that's the model in our industry, right? Things map out and map out well.
Mhm.
And yeah, we didn't see it getting this crazy. You're 32 years, I'm 27, 28 years in. I too have seen it and been there, done that, but pretty unique.
Yes,
So
I
obviously, it's in and around. The other thing that's at play is obviously, as you mentioned earlier, the stagnant rent, right? So
right.
dynamics and rent have truly been a hot topic. Like, how could we raise value and raise rent still, right, in that moment? But could
Right.
you discuss how rent trends have been impacted by market conditions, and then what strategies are proven effective for RKW?
Yeah. I mean, right now, the rent changes year to year, like you said, have been basically flat for 10 consecutive months at basically a little over 0.1%. And some of the markets that are really high supply, I mean, I read a lot and I always looking at what's happening, at any given moment. And I read somewhere that supply is at a 37-year high. And so in the industry, and demand is really high as well. But I am not a econ major, but I do know that supply and demand, rule everything. Even though supply is high, demand is high, it's still just really keeping those rents stagnant, like we said at best. The strategies that we have been using have really been looking at anything that from an ancillary income perspective to add value for our residents is really important. We just don't want to tack on a fee of A, B, or C at all. We want to be able to ensure that there's value for the rent that they're paying. And if there's anything extra that we add, that there's a value to that. So again, we look at those like invisible dollars. If something is $5, can it be $9? Just trying to look at anything from an application fee. Again, not to penalize the residents and not to just have fee for fee's sake, but again, making sure we're adding value when it comes to rent and any other fee or service that we provide.
That's a great play.
So, with AI technology playing a crucial role in today's environment, how is RKW Residential leveraging artificial intelligence to enhance digital marketing, personalized services, and even streamlining efficiencies in your multifamily operations?
Yeah, AI, is not new, but it is being used in new ways within the organization. We first started it from the prospect journey, where we would use AI through our CRM to ensure that our prospects are getting contacted frequently with the information that they want. And I always say, to quote Ricky Bobby, from Talladega Nights, if you know that, if you're not first, you're last. And that's how I think about it, So what are we doing? We've also been utilizing AI when it comes to, now we're folding that more into delinquency and how we're communicating with our residents. So it's getting deeper into the resident cycle, where before we've just been using AI and automation, again, just for the prospect journey. Now we put it into our resident journey. Again, trying to ensure that the service that we're providing for our residents is, giving them on-demand service, making sure that service is frictionless and making sure they have options, whether they're using technology or using our people,
Yeah.
to get service.
I think the other thing that AI is bringing to us as an industry is to really understand our, again, prospects or residents, our customers overall, right? To
Yeah.
really like see the data for what it really is and extract what we need from it to be able to further improve. So I think that's one of the best benefits moving forward in with AI.
It's funny. It's funny. Like we have Copilot. Like I'm just trying to type just a memo, and I'm like, I don't need AI. Let me just say what I want to say. Sometimes it's trying to take over, and I'm like, let me just do it myself. But we do use it where it makes sense. Again, through the resident journey.
Yeah, I feel that just with my new iPhone update. I was like, wait, I'm not trying to say that. Calm down. Let's do
Exactly.
I'm trying to be organic here in my text messages.
And there's
I love
actually
it.
there's a lot of controversy in the LinkedIn space right now. 'Cause I think LinkedIn added like an AI response to help you mix it up with AI, and no one's liking, if you're going to be pushing your authority, your knowledge out there, and you're just using AI to post comments. I mean, that's not what social media or AI is really about. You still want to be that transparent person and, be yourself, right? And I feel like
Authentic.
we have
100%.
too much generative content. It's all just regurgitated, and it's like, where's the value? So sometimes I feel like sometimes search, levels might go down if we get too much of that kind of content out there on the web.
Yeah, makes sense.
We like it making us more efficient, but we got to still sound like we're a human.
100%. I concur.
Yeah. So shifting gears a bit, this is an exciting topic for us because, as digital marketers, we're always, into new spaces, and this is one in particular. But your company has recently, or I don't know about recently, but expanded into the BTR sector, build to rent. What prompted this move, and this is what I really want to hear from you. What emerging market trends are you observing in this sector, especially in light of the economy?
Yeah. So we got into the BTR space because one of our clients was getting into the BTR space. So we had one of our larger clients had 99 townhomes, and they were working with a management company that, according to them, wasn't working out and needed somebody that could really zig and zag and think a little differently. So that's how we started. And believe it or not, it was back in 2018. Next, we were introduced to a home builder just by chance, and that home builder wanted to get into the BTR space. So we started working with them. Again, I think it was like 90 units, cottages on the coast of North Carolina that we leased up. And then, I mean, the strategy in the beginning in 2018 is very different than what it is today. I mean, the renter pool has really gravitated towards this because of what BTR can offer. It still has the rental ease, but it also has the space. It can be customized a little bit more. And the trends that we're seeing is people are gravitating, people are renting longer. I don't think that's a secret, but people still have the same cycles. They graduate from college and then they're in a typical apartment. And then as they get older, they couple up, they get a dog, double income with a dog, and then double income with a dog and no kids. And then you have a kid, you need more space. I mean, all of that still transpires. And because that BTR space is in the suburbs, that's attractive. Again, more space. And as long as it's an easy commute with remote work, it's really important. But what we're seeing in the BTR space specifically that has been attractive is the customization. I think that's really what it is. I mean, you want a screen door? Great. We can add a screen door. You want to have a fenced in backyard. You want a doggy door. You want to have, a Ring camera. You want festival lights. All those things are so customizable in this space where in a traditional multifamily, you can't do that.
Yeah, that's amazing. Are you seeing, I think you mentioned earlier, but are you seeing that they're staying longer also because they have more space and it's like their own private home, if you will?
Yeah, I don't have any data, to support that because sometimes people move and I don't know, why, we have data to say what they're doing, but I do think the natural step is they will buy a home. Now, what's happening today, as you know, because interest rates are so high, it's keeping our residents longer. So, it's like the interest rates are good, good for us as, operators, maybe and owners in one respect, because the residents aren't moving because they can't go buy a house. But at the same time, the interest rates on the communities themselves are higher. So it's really a catch-22.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that that's probably helping, right, to maintain at least retention. And what you mentioned about the refine and refocus is let's keep them, right? Hopefully they're not, I mean,
right.
Hopefully they can buy a house someday, but if they're not today, let's make sure they don't leave us and go to another community.
That's right.
Yeah, and just love on the one you're with, as they say.
There you go. I like one other thing, Ron. One other thing I'll add is, I still think it's important that you have to create a sense of community within the BTR space. I mean, it's really not build it and good luck. We've got to make sure that they know their neighbors and creating opportunities, and even just pocket place for them to walk their dog, or some of our larger communities do have like a clubhouse with a pool and things like that, but it's just we bring in food trucks and things like that because that's also how we get them.
I feel like if a build to rent, like a new resident comes to a build to rent, and it's like a lot of times it's a brand new house, right?
That's right. Yes.
So I mean, who would not like? I would imagine the year how long they would stay there would be way longer than like a normal apartment because,
Right.
unless they're ready to finally buy a house. But again, I think a lot of our demographic, they're going to be okay with renting and maybe investing in stocks and other assets, and be just fine with it.
I agree with you 100%.
My family did that. They built from the ground up just an infill project, a brand new single family home in 2015. And I did the rental for them, as I do most of their rentals. And I remember telling the resident, I'm like, who does this? Like, who builds a house and then hands it off to a renter? And you get the benefit of having a brand new home. Like, literally everything was brand new, custom picked. So
nice.
When I heard BTR coming to our industry hereafter, I was like, it's amazing. If I was a renter, I'd love that, right?
Absolutely.
And the size of a home or townhome or whatever.
Yeah, it's a need. It's a need, and someone's got to fill it.
Bring on more.
So as RKW Residential celebrates its 10th anniversary, could you share some key achievements and milestones that have shaped the company's journey so far?
I cannot believe it's been 10 years. And June 27th, to be exact, will be 10 years. And we have a lot of celebrating to do. We have a fun day planned for our team members to help celebrate. And there's been so many great people and so many great clients and team members for sure. When I look back, I think about when our first lease up that we did was in 2015. When we our essential truths, really, how we think about how we treat each other and treat our residents and clients. We established those in 2016. When we started getting recognized, getting a little bigger, we hit 10,000 units was a very big moment. When our parent company today, Hello Alfred, acquired RKW, was just a humongous, wonderful, pivotal moment within the history of RKW, really just marrying tech and our strong operational platform has been fantastic over the past couple of years. When we hit the top 50 list through NMHC as one of the largest management companies was a big accomplishment. Now, just one funny, I don't know if it's funny. I mean, we're number 50. Okay. So it's not like we have climbed up the ranks, but listen, what I love about that is it gives us, that means we have enough units for all the efficiencies that we provide, all of the programming that we can have for our team members makes me really happy. But really what I'm most proud of is Jay Turner ranks those people on the top 50 list. And we, as it relates to online reputation, and our RKW ranked number 2 within that top 50 list. So I love that stat, and I love that designation as number 2 of having the best online reputation. But I'm happy to be number 50. I mean, I don't think I'd ever not normally say that, but I'm happy to be on the list with the other prestigious management companies on.
So at AIM conference we were at, one of the sessions, they were showing old school like advertising back in the day and using humor to sell. One of the parts, they were, I think it was like between Hertz and another car company of rentals, and they were promoting themselves on a billboard, like saying we are number 2. So
Hertz.
So we're going to be hungrier. Yeah, number 2, and so we're hungrier. Then you're number 1, because the number 1 position, they get kind of complacent, they get used to where they're at. So, and being number 50, it just shows, RKW is hungry. We're in the race, and we're coming for you. Right?
There you go. I love it.
Hey, at least you're on the list, I'm going to say, right? Yeah. So that's amazing. I mean, you're there, and there's hundreds, as we know, and more coming out of the woodwork, it seems like, management companies. So you are on your way, my friend. And 10 years, we celebrated our 10-year last year. So congratulations. I have that milestone as well. It's just a cool double-digit number. You
Yes.
look back at all the pain points and the highs and the lows. Yeah, there's Martin showing his hat on the screen. I know
Yeah.
our audience can't hear it. I often say we should be doing this on video because we all look good today. But yeah, 10 years, that's a crazy milestone. Again, the highs and the lows. We always like to just talk about the highs. But
Right.
when you really, get nostalgic, you think like, wow, look what we've done. And so
Yes.
be grateful for that number 50 position because you're going to be growing in the rankings from there on. So any of the other management companies out there listening, watch
Well,
out.
listen, from your mouth to the apartment god's ears,
There
right?
you go. That's it.
Perfect.
Yeah. We
That-
all have those aspirations. So speaking of which, to be nostalgic, reflecting on the past, here's a good one for a CEO and somebody who has been there, done that, and gone through the ranks. What are some of the important lessons that RK Residential has learned over the years? Again, 10 years is a long time to reflect. But more importantly, how have these lessons influenced who your company is today, your growth, operations, all the above?
I will tell you, when the company first started, really understood. Here's what matters: people. That's it. When
Amen.
when we came up with our branding and who we want to be, we were just this like thing of Play-Doh and just trying to mold ourselves. I kept saying, if we can just have the best people, we will have the best properties. And if we can have the best properties, we will have the best people. And that's really where our tagline, expert people, exceptional places, came from. And then when Alfred acquired RKW and everything that they bring to our platform, we expanded to extraordinary experiences. But people are always first, a people first philosophy, expert people before our expert places. When we look back at our essential truths, our first number one truth in RKW is we excel by putting people first. So those foundational decisions on how we started the company and how we grew the company, that's what we think of always. Every decision we make, every platform we want to bring on, every vendor relationship, we always think about people. But, growing is important for a business too, but it's always the thing that we've learned is smart growth is more important than just growth. We've had a lot of clients might say, "Hey, we'd love for you to manage for us in Denver." And I'm like, "I'd love to be in Denver. I'm going to get to Denver one day, but I'm not there. Not going to be able to take care of the residents and take care of your needs in Denver." Or somebody might say, "Hey, why don't you manage this asset class for us?" I'm like, "We're just not experts at that. I want to be successful where I know we can be successful." And I'm based in Charlotte, North Carolina. The company was founded in Miami, Florida, and we've grown everywhere in between. A few, outliers here or there, but it's always been with clients that we can nurture, take care of, and be successful for those clients with our residents and our team members.
Yeah, that's so huge. I think that is, I mean, only somebody at your seat could say that confidently, right? Everybody else would be like, let's go do it. And you're like, I gotta watch us, right? I
Yeah,
too feel like I've had what is it, the foot on the gas pedal, but also the
yeah,
foot on the brake at the same
that's
time
right.
in many regards, because you don't want to break. You want to be subject matter experts. You want to know, your market and your clients and make them proud and sustain the business. And you don't get to 10 plus years and NMHC's top 50 and 10,000 plus units for nothing, right? Um,
Right.
you got there
Right.
organically, and that's the important part. And I love that about the people. I got goosebumps when you said that because it's so cliche. But if you're intentional about it, there's so much greatness that could come from it, including just seeing other people's careers take off and maybe become the next Marcie. Your representation of a female CEO is amazing in our industry. And hopefully there's people that you mentor, I'm sure there are, through the years that say, you too can do this.
Well, thank you for that. Yes. And there's lots of people that can do what I do for sure.
Yes, inspiring. Thank you for sharing that.
So looking ahead, what are RKW's residential's future aspirations and goals for continued success in the multifamily industry?
Oh, listen, I want to do a lot of things and I want to be a lot of things. But what gets me most excited is growing our people. We're continuing to provide opportunities for our people. When somebody gets married in our company or has a baby in our company, that makes me feel really happy because like we gave them a job and they excelled and we paid them and they got to do what they want to do, So I want to continue to bring the best and brightest people in our industry, help grow those people so our company can grow. Again, we do want to expand our footprint. We want to be a national organization. Right now, we're in 8 states, which I'm really proud of, but we do want to continue to grow. But again, as I mentioned, we want smart growth. I want to be, a leader in the organization as, the best operator, not the biggest, but the best, with having the, best ideas, the best strategy. And like I said, last and certainly not least, really first is having the best people.
Boom.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Well, thank you again so much for joining us on the Multifamily Podcast today, Marcie. It was such a fun and insightful conversation. And, I can't believe that we're talking to you, really. I mean, it was really an honor to, meet you and get to know you a little better. And I hope we get to collaborate more, in the very near future.
I would love that. Thank you so much for having me. I truly appreciate it.
Ron, any final thoughts?
I mean, I can't believe we're done. I want to know more.
It was fast.
It was fast. We definitely could talk more offline, but yeah, super excited about sharing your story with our audience. Obviously, we have people from across the country that we've done. I love that you guys are representing the Southeast and continue to do greatness in what you do. We're proud of you.
Same to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Well, that's the wrap, folks. Make sure to check out rkwresidential.com to keep up on their journey. And don't forget to subscribe to the Multifamily Podcast at multifamilypodcast.com and get your free marketing analysis from apartmentseo.com today and learn more about all of our offerings and how we can help your communities thrive online. Until next time.
Thank you for listening to the
Bye,
Multifamily Podcast,
Cheers.
brought to you by co-founders of Apartment SEO, a premier Google agency, with your hosts, Ron Ruiz and Martin Quinchola. Join us again next time as we continue to bring you the latest and greatest in the multifamily industry.